Every airsofter is looking for three main things from their goggles. They want them to be lightweight, they want to make sure that they never fog, and they also want to find them at a fair price. And safe to say, I found something that hits all three of those criteria in the ESS Crossbows. So let's talk about them in today's review. What's up, airsofters? My name is Lane, and ESS has been making gear for the military for over 20 years, so it makes perfect sense that their equipment is going to be translating great over into our use for airsoft. Now, the first thing that you notice about these goggles is how lightweight, but at the same time, how incredibly high quality they are. Now, when you buy these from ESS, all they're going to come with is the glasses and a set of lenses. It's already going to be pre-installed, but they're really easy to swap out. And I've added a couple things on here to make them better for airsoft. The first thing is their gasket kit. That makes sure that these are full seal. I also have their head strap on the back of it just to make sure that if I take a tumble or if I take a fall, that I'm not going to have these fall off of my face, again, keeping them nice and secure to my body. Now, because these are incredibly low profile, they are a shooting glass style cut, it means that when you put them on, it's not going to get in the way of your other headgear. I've tried other options, even the ESS turbo fans, which I also think are great, but they're much larger than these. They come up to about here. They can sometimes get in the way of your headgear, which can cause a problem. The nice thing with these, the crossbows, is that if you're wearing any sort of mesh mask, it's going to make sure that your face can stay covered without impacting where your eye protection is. Sometimes when you have bigger eye protection with a mesh mask that protects more of your lower face, it can push the goggles up and that can create issues. It can also make sure that your full seal isn't happening. And at the same time, if you're wearing a helmet, if you're wearing any sort of headgear, this doesn't get in the way of that either. Even with the back strap on there, this is a very low profile design, and it makes sure that it doesn't get in the way of any other straps, any other headgear that you're wearing. The other thing about these is they are incredibly comfortable. I have a really big head, which can give me issues sometimes with goggles. However, with these, I've worn these at 40-hour games where you cannot take your glasses off, and it never causes me an issue. It's incredibly comfortable, especially on the sides of my head, like right around here on the temple is where I start to notice some pain. And even after countless hours, these are fantastic. Now, a lot of people like to compare these to the Oakley M-Frame series because they're very similar, but I think that these are not only better than the M-Frames, they're also almost half the price, if not even less than half the price of the M-Frames. I think the things that make these much better, besides the price, is their gasket system. I think the gasket is much easier to use and offers more protection than the M-Frames. And again, these aren't much more affordable. So let's pop mine off and I'll show you how to install this gasket system because it only takes about 30 seconds. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the gasket and line it up at the center on the top, right near the latch that you would pull up on to replace the lens itself. First, you're going to place the back of these on there with these two little fangs or hooks hanging above it. And then with both your thumbs, you're going to apply pressure, pushing downward until it clicks. You're going to get a nice positive click like that. The first or second time that you do it, it can be very difficult and you might be afraid that you might break them, but don't worry, it's not an issue. The next thing you're going to do is attach the gasket around the body of the lens itself. First, you're going to hook it over the nose, and then on each side, you're going to pull the gasket down under the lens until part of it is in front of the lens body itself, and then just kind of stretch it out to make sure that it is covering everything, and you are good to go. That is how easy it is to put this gasket on there. And again, sometimes you don't need it. If you're going out to shoot your real guns, you're probably not going to need the gasket. You might be going to Milsim West that doesn't require full seal, but when you do need it or you just want to have it for your own personal safety, it's incredibly easy to do, and I just think, again, it is a fantastic system at a great price. You can get the crossbows for under $50 on Amazon, and if you want to find those, everything we talk about in today's video will be linked down below. But I think the big question that most players are wondering about is, how is the fog with these goggles? And adding the gasket on there can trap a little bit more heat in. It does make it easier to fog up, but I really never have any issues with these goggles, and I've used them in both extremes of the temperature range. I've used them when it's 90, 95% humidity and it is just warm and wet. I've used it in 0-degree temperatures when other goggles that were fogging, the fog would literally turn to ice and freeze on the lenses themselves, and I really never have issues with these. I've had them fog up once, however, since then I have started using a defog solution or a paste that you can put on there, and I literally never have issues anymore. I have a ton of friends that run the Crossbows as well, and they never have issues with fogging. I think for $50, this is just a fantastic investment in airsoft because you shouldn't be cheaping out on your personal protection gear. I think something that also really helps the Crossbows is on their gasket system, it is adjustable to allow a little bit more air in. Right at the center, you can push it towards the goggles themselves to actually tighten things up, but you can also push it back to allow just a little bit of air in, just to make sure that there is some airflow, because you want that refreshing, cool air entering the goggles to make sure that you don't have any water and any fog building up, because that's when you can't see and that creates issues. But overall, I think that the ESS Crossbows are something that I should have bought a long time ago. These are fantastic goggles. If anything ever goes wrong, if the lenses get scratched up, whatever it may be, not only does ESS have fantastic customer service, replacement parts are readily available. So these are something that I have to recommend to every single player. I think they're lightweight, they're durable, they're affordable, and overall the ESS Crossbows are just a must recommend. They are fantastic, and I've been loving them during my usage. But I want to know, what goggles do you use? Make sure to let me know down below, and if you're interested in trying out the Crossbows, there is a link down in the description below for you to find them. But my name is Lane, and I will see you all in the next video.